15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back to 15-Minute Mondays. I hope you had a fantastic weekend and a good start to the week. We're going to talk about blind spots, and we're going to talk about how you can discover your blind spots and why that is a path to improved relationships. So I don't want to hold you up for long. Let's get right into it. You're heading down a road filled with potholes. That's how it feels. And your relationships are rocky and your conflicts unresolved. How many times do you find yourself in that situation? But what if you could have a smooth path? What if you could discover your emotional blind spots? If you could shine a light into those dark corners that you don't see, those hidden unconscious parts of yourself. That is what impacts us many times in life without us even realizing. And you could transform them from relationship roadblocks into keys that actually unlock connections and understanding between you, your friends, your partner, your colleagues at work, everywhere in the surrounding areas of your life. This is your chance to trade frustration for freedom, because mending those relationships and having positive relationships around you that are driven by you being more self-aware and understanding where your blind spots are, that is true freedom. Shine a light into those dark corners and watch your world open up as you do it. As a life coach and coaching myself and receiving coaching, I can tell you it's one of the most liberating feelings in the world. Let this episode show you how to map your blind spots, understand their power, and use them to strengthen bonds. The journey that we are taking together is liberating, and I want you to take the first step to improved relationships and a life filled with understanding. And that is your journey to go on, and I want you to do it with enthusiasm and motivation. So what are emotional blind spots? We all have them, and they occur every single day, more times than you could ever imagine. Emotional blind spots are hidden aspects of your psyche that negatively impact how you relate to others and how you engage with them. They are the unconscious defenses and biases, the self-limiting beliefs and the stories that we tell ourselves that shape your reactions, interpretations, and behaviors in ways that you don't realize when it is happening. Most of the time, the realization only comes afterwards or when it is too late. And your past creates blind spots. Your emotional blind spots originate in your childhood experiences and in the coping mechanisms you developed to deal with difficulties. The ways you learn to protect yourself then persist into adulthood. Even if they no longer serve you, it doesn't matter, they are still there and very often unnoticed. And the thing with blind spots is they distort your perceptions. Emotional blind spots filter your perceptions and cause you to misinterpret social cues. You might end up perceiving criticism where none exists or fail to recognize when someone genuinely needs your support. These blind spots lead to misunderstandings and fractured relationships. Awareness is the antidote. That's what you can do against it. And we talk about it so much, self-awareness, being in tune with your emotions, with what you think, and what you feel and how it impacts your action, particularly towards others. The good news is you can overcome your blind spots through conscious effort and awareness. Start by reflecting on past conflicts and identifying the triggers that caused strong emotional reactions. And then consider how your interpretations of events may have been distorted. Make a habit of challenging those knee-jerk interpretations and looking at situations from multiple perspectives. And the best is always the bird's perspective. Take that lens, zoom out, look at the situation from above, and put yourself into the other person's shoes or those people that you are dealing with. With practice, you can gain insight into your blind spots and break free of their constraints. You build healthier relationships based on openness, trust, and mutual understanding. The truth is not always comfortable, but shining a light on your emotional blind spot will profoundly change how you connect with others. Isn't that a discovery worth making? I personally believe it is great and it is liberating and it will change your life. I think self-awareness is one of those major keys to a better, more fulfilled and authentic life. So how do blind spots develop and why do they matter? Have you ever felt frustrated because you just couldn't understand why someone reacted the way they did? How many times does that happen to you? Most probably on a daily basis. Chances are you were encountering one of their emotional blind spots. These hidden spots develop over time through a mix of nature and nurture. Genetics may predispose us to certain tendencies, but environment and experiences shape how our emotional wiring actually develops. The good news that I have for you is that recognizing your own blind spots can be truly life-changing, and it is. Once you start to see your triggers and reactions more clearly, you gain the power to consciously choose a different path. You can build stronger, healthier relationships as you become able to stay calm and compassionate even in moments of tension. So that's all self-awareness. It is that ability to take something in that is disturbing you, but to not allow an impulsive reaction, but rather wait, breathe, think about it, understand what is it triggering. Why are you actually preparing this response that might not be nice, not kind, maybe not helpful? And then thinking about it, looking at it quickly from different perspectives, taking a deep breath, and then responding from a point of calm, clarity, focus, compassion, understanding, and the ability to put yourself in the person's shoes that maybe has just launched that what you initially perceived as attack against you, which then maybe turns out is coming from their own blind spot. So self-awareness and the ability to disassociate for a moment from what is happening inside when something creates disturbance, that makes you strong. It gives you emotional agility and the ability to react from a completely different point of view. And that is worthwhile to discover and to train and to learn. That's also something that as a life coach, as a business coach, executive coach, that's what I help people with. So how do you shine a light on those dark corners of your psyche? Try looking for patterns in your interactions with others. Do you frequently feel a surge of defensiveness, anger, or anxiety in response to certain types of comments or tones of voice? That's a clear-cut sign that you've encountered a blind spot when it creates turmoil inside you. Another clue is finding yourself repeatedly embroiled in the same type of conflict, whether at work or in your personal life. The common denominator is likely an unexamined emotional trigger within yourself. But don't worry, self-awareness is the first big step, as I mentioned. With conscious effort and practice, you absolutely can overcome those blind spots and transform your relationships. The rewards of this inner work are well worth it, trust me. People have changed around me through coaching, where I see how they blossom, how they transform their relationships and their lives through it. As you gain understanding of yourself and others, empathy will grow and foster inside yourself. Communication becomes clearer and conflict resolution far easier. You'll find freedom from unhealthy patterns and build connections based on authentic acceptance and care. Now that's a bright future. And the best out of all of this, it fosters mental health and well-being, which is so important in life. In the times that we live, stressful, uncertainty, all these things happening all the time, mental health is so important. And with good relationships, you are changing a big part that other people struggle with and which can cause huge issues in your life. There is a big truth in identifying your hidden triggers and biases. You know that feeling, that discovery where you just exploded in anger during an argument and weren't sure why? Or found yourself judging someone for reasons you can't quite pin down? We all have emotional blind spots, hidden triggers, biases, and beliefs that shape our reactions in ways that we don't even realize. But the good news is you have the power to illuminate your blind spots and gain valuable insights into yourself and your relationships through self-reflection. Look at patterns in your reactions. Pay close attention to situations that provoke a strong emotional reaction in you, that turmoil that I speak about, especially anger or irritation. Do you tend to get disproportionately upset in response to certain tones of voice, word choices, or types of requests? These could point to underlying triggers from past experiences that are worth exploring. The more you can identify the patterns, the more you'll understand about what's really driving your reaction. Sometimes it's worthwhile sitting down and investigating, having a journal where you write down those things for the moment, and then later when you have a quiet moment, look at it again, reflect reflect and try to understand, where is it actually coming from? What is this telling me? What am I not seeing in these situations? Examine your assumptions. We all make assumptions about others, and we know assumption is the mother of all. Well, I don't have to finish that sentence. Often without realizing it. Take time to question beliefs you hold about groups of people or individuals in your life. Are you making unfair generalizations? Do you have hidden biases you need to address? Shining a light on your assumptions and stereotypes can be uncomfortable, but it's the only way to overcome them. Be willing to see people as individuals. Empathy, empathy, and empathy. Practice it. The root cause of many emotional blind spots is a lack of empathy. We get so caught up in our own perspectives that we fail to see other points of view. Make an effort and really try to listen without judgment, understand others' experiences, and imagine how you might feel in their situation. You need to ask clarifying questions and then reflect back what you are hearing to make sure you fully understand the other person's perspectives. Empathy is a skill that takes practice, but it can transform your relationships once learned properly, and that is also something that we can help you with in coaching. Recognizing your own emotional blind spots and triggers is challenging but empowering work. I want you to stay committed to a better understanding of yourself and how you impact others. With time and practice, you will gain insights, valuable insights, and the ability to navigate conflict in a better and more healthy way. The rewards of improved self-awareness and stronger, more meaningful relationships will make your effort worth the while. So what are some techniques to uncover and address blind spots? Getting real about your blind spots and being honest, that can be life-changing. It's time that you shed light on those dark corners of your psyche. Once you've identified your blind spots, you will gain the insight into yourself and your relationships. Look for patterns. I tell you all the time, pattern recognition is one of the biggest skills you can attain. When you frequently argue about the same things, does a particular issue keep coming up with friends, family, or your partner? Recurring patterns often point to a blind spot. Look for themes in your most heated debates. There's gold in them and there's data. Ask others for the input as well. Outside perspectives can be so beneficial. So ask around and get 360-degree feedback if necessary. One of the biggest things, practice self-reflection. Self-reflection is the key. Spend time reflecting on your beliefs, behaviors, and emotional reactions. Try to understand the root cause of strong feelings. Journaling, meditation, and talking to a therapist or a coach like myself are great ways to gain awareness of your blind spots, because we consistently probe and we challenge your beliefs and the way that you see the world and your stories, your self-fulfilling prophecies, all those things. We shine a light into those corners so that you can self-reflect and find better ways of thinking, reframe negative ways of thinking, and that is the key to self-reflection. Ask yourself probing questions and be willing to accept uncomfortable answers. The truth will set you free. And be open to feedback. That is so important. Ask the important people in your life, like I say, 360-degree feedback. Ask them how you can become a better friend, a better partner, parent, co-worker. The simple question, how can I love you better? Or the simple question, how can I serve you better in this department? All those kind of questions, when they come from a genuine point of view and you are ready to receive the answer no matter what it brings, that is the key. Let them know you genuinely want to understand their experience of you. This takes courage, but the rewards are massive. Listen with an open mind and avoid defensiveness, because that is going to shut down the opportunity of growth. Their observations will be eye-opening, trust me. And usually it comes from a loving and caring point of view. Address blind spots compassionately. Once aware of your blind spots, be gentle with yourself. Don't talk down on yourself. Be kind. Don't beat yourself up. Everyone has them. Blind spots are everywhere in life. The important thing is that now you can start building self-awareness, make a plan to respond differently the next time a trigger situation arises. Apologize to anyone you may have hurt. Your relationships will be so much richer when you openly discuss your blind spots. Shining a light on your blind spots is challenging, but I promise you it pays back. You'll gain profound insights and a deeper connection with others, and that will change your life in beautiful ways. So get excited and do it. it. Get out there, take action. That's what life is all about, action. The path to improved communication and relationships, well, you're about to go on an exciting journey of self-discovery if you use the things that we spoke about above, because recognizing your emotional blind spots will transform how you connect with others. When you understand what makes you tick, you gain valuable insight into why you react certain ways during arguments or conflicts. And that allows you in return to address the root cause of communication breakdowns and build healthier relationships. It's always about looking within. Self-reflection, as I mentioned. Practice active listening. And once you've identified your blind spots, open up. This means paying close attention to the other person and the people around you, your colleagues, your manager, your superiors, or people that you work with on a daily basis, reflecting on what they're really saying. Repeat their message back to them and ensure that you understand correctly. This simple habit can diffuse many arguments and help you stay calm and open-minded. Look for compromise. That's also a big point. With self-awareness and improved listening skills, you will get better at finding common ground and compromise. Learn to validate others' perspectives instead of insisting on getting your way. Be willing to meet in the middle. Compromise and cooperation are the foundation of healthy relationships for all of us. Shining a light on your emotional blind spots and hidden triggers won't always be easy. It's a tough one. And if you have to do it constantly, that's really not always great. But the more you do it, the less the situations will come up where you will have to do it. And then every now and then you just have to revisit it. But it will change your life. That's what it's about. You will build deeper connections, resolve conflicts in a constructive way, emotional agility, and enjoy improved communication and understanding with people who matter the most. This journey of self-discovery will always be challenging, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Take the first courageous step, and I can guarantee you, you will never look back or regret it. So I know that you can do this. Shining your inner light in those shadowy corners isn't always easy, but it's rewarding. When you make the effort to understand yourself and others on a deeper level, you build bridges of empathy and compassion. And sure, it takes courage, but isn't that what life is about? Being courageous and all along the way, most importantly, don't lose your curiosity, because curiosity, that is the key. To explore those tender spots and see your own shortcomings and be engaging with others. Be curious about the way how they react and why they respond the way they do. Don't be upset about it. Have an open mind and be curious about it. Once you do, your relationships transform in the most amazing way. Keep communicating openly, listening without judgment, and seeking common ground. And with practice, those hidden blind spots become windows of understanding. You will resolve conflicts faster, grow closer to your loved ones, and live in peace. This is one of the keys to freedom, happiness, and lasting relationships that are based on mutual understanding, respect, and that is the most empowering thing that you will encounter. So keep pushing for those beautiful relationships. Don't give up. Try to investigate and look within, because that is where most of our troubles and problems originate from. Shine that torch into the dark corners and make light, because it will make light in your life. That was it from my side, guys. Don't forget to tune in for Business Wednesdays with myself and Kane William Pretorius. We're carrying on with our topic on how to empower those around you, particularly millennials and Generation Z. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. That's Daniel, your host on the Success Blueprint. I promise you, I'll be back. Take care, guys.